everyone, welcome to another episode of Who Gives a Flip alongside DFW's best loan originator, Ryan Blake. I'm just Jared Sandler with our senior double, triple executive vice producer, Michael Prager, behind the scenes. What's up, man?
Hey, not much. How are you doing?
I'm great. Just a reminder, we got the Flip the Script mic flag. We got the Longhorn Way mic flag. Those are other podcasts you can find at longhorninvestments.com. Maybe one day we will succeed enough to have our own mic flag. But we are here because we are great teammates to the entire company. We want to promote everything else going on. And then we've also got other pieces of content on the website, not just those two podcasts and ours, which as of now, like we said last episode, you can't find ours. But if you're listening to it, that means it is findable. So that's a good thing. We've made progress.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, like...
What say you, executive, senior, vice president, producer?
Yeah,
See?
yeah, there you
All
go.
right.
He's all in. Right now, it's kind of like, you know, when I was younger, I think my brothers would act like I was playing video games, even though I was just pressing buttons and nothing was happening. I feel like, you know, that's kind of what we were doing, right?
They put us in here,
Yeah.
and these may not even be connected to anything.
Yeah, who knows? What are
My headphones aren't connected to anything.
Oh, hey. Neither are mine, and these are not wireless. Okay, so one of the things that we wanted to talk about, we deal with all sorts of different types of people with different backgrounds and different levels of experience, different mindsets, different mentalities. I think one of the things we really enjoy is the connection, the relationship with borrowers. But they're all different, and some get it right away, some it takes some time, some maybe don't ever fully get it. And what is getting it? That's nebulous. There's a gray area. There are a lot of paths to success. But I wanted to ask you, what is something that's just music to your ears when you're talking to a borrower, whether it's in an introductory stage or at any point in the process where you're like, yeah, this person gets it. Like I feel like they are, well on their way to succeeding as a real estate investor.
Sure. So looking at it maybe from someone who hasn't done any loans yet or any deals in real estate in general, I love when they tell me, hey, I want to get this one done and I want to do it really, really well. So I'm just going to do this one to start, because there's some times where people are trying to bite off a little more than they can chew, especially when they say like, hey, I just want this good entry level. I'm looking for the easiest flip possible. It's people that try to tackle those hard ones that maybe sometimes get in over their head. So I love hearing people that are understanding where they're at and understanding that they're new and that they're not trying to conquer the world on that first flip.
And we're just going to go back and forth with a few of these, right? I love hearing someone want to get an appraisal and want a real appraisal and don't just want an appraisal that is going to, manufacture a number artificially that is a short-term gain for them. And the reason being, if you want an appraisal, you understand the value of the appraisal. The appraisal is a roadmap. If you have a property and it does not appraise and you want to turn it into a flip, well, you're probably not going to get the spread that you were hoping to get. Because let me tell you something, that buyer of the property is not just going to blindly, that's what you're offering, sweet. They're going to use data, they're going to understand comps, especially if they're going to buy this as their own home, right? If you're flipping it, this is going to be someone's home. They're going to have a realtor who's going to be helping them understand comps. And an appraisal is not this subjective thing that, if you're an appraiser and I'm an appraiser and we're both good at our jobs, we might not come up with the same exact number, but you're not coming up with a number that's $100,000 different than my number, right? So understanding that, all of this information is valuable, whether it's the information you want or the information that maybe tells you a story that you weren't necessarily pumped about that day, it's going to help you long term. And if it's a rental, you're going to have to refinance. Mm-hmm. And if the appraisal is low on our end, it's certainly not going to, in all likelihood, be high on the back end when you refi, and now you're going to be out a ton cash to close. So I just like people who understand the value of the appraisal regardless of what it produces.
Sure. Thinking of other things I just love hearing people say is, do you have a contractor, or I vetted this contractor by calling these past clients of theirs. Contractors tend to be the linchpin to whether a deal is successful or not. And so I hate when people just look through a yellow pages to find their contractor, or, oh, I saw a sign on the side of the freeway, so I'm calling that contractor. I want to see that they've done their research, that they've met with them, that they've explained their ideas, that they really have come together and formed a partnership, a team to do that. So many people just, they want to get in and they're like, oh yeah, my cousin, he does roofing, so I'm going to have him do this whole flip. That's where things start to go bad. So I get really scared when I hear that, but I love hearing them say, I really want to make sure I'm getting the right contractor, so I'm spending my time to make sure I'm picking out the right person.
All right. So on that, I love hearing someone say to me when I ask them, hey, do you have a specific deal that you're pursuing, or are you just kind of generally searching? And they'll say back to me, I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row and then I'm going to start looking. Mm-hmm. Now, I've always said you need to be ready. And what I've meant by that is you don't know when that right deal is going to come about, and it might not come at the perfect time, because in life, how often do things happen at the perfect time? And so maybe you had goals of, I want to line up my lender, I want to line up my insurance person, I want to line up my contractor, I want to line up this person and that person, and then I want to start looking. But maybe you're exposed to deals. Either you've got a realtor who's helping you out, you have relationships with wholesalers who are sending you deals, and it's like, I found the right deal. I might not have all those boxes checked, but if that's your mentality, I feel good that you're ready to be ready, which what I mean by that is you're one step away. All right, hey, this is the right deal. I believe it's the right deal because of, whatever my preparation and trying to determine that is. I probably might, even though I might not have every single person lined up, I probably already have a short list of people that I want to go to and I want to vet. And I'm not just going to jump into the water not knowing, what's around me, right? So as much as you and I love getting calls saying, hey, I've got a deal, I would love for you to be, the lending option for this deal. I don't mind when I interact with someone. They're like, yeah, I just want to get my ducks in a row. Listen, you're going to be my lender. I got that checked off. And if I don't hear from that person with a deal in a month, 3 months, 6 months, I still feel good that person's going to find the right deal and be successful.
Sure. I love when I hear a borrower say, hey, will you help me run these numbers? Or will you run a term sheet or cash to close estimate for me? Because what I hate is when someone comes to me and they're like, I already got this deal lined up. I need a loan. And you'd think as a lender, I would love to hear them say they've already got the deal lined up. I want to be able to give them that cash to close estimate before they ever put any earnest money down, before they sign their name on a contract. Because at that point, they're locked in. Yeah. They have money that's on the table. They have money they could lose. If they didn't run those numbers well, if they don't have a full understanding of what is needed, they could be in hot water. So I love hearing people say, hey, I think this might be a good deal. Can you look it over with me? And then we run our term sheet. We have really great comprehensive cash to close estimates that will tell you what the title fees should be, tell you what the insurance fees should be, and then a good estimate, of our loan fees. So they're getting a holistic picture of it. And I always want to get that out as early as possible to someone, because the more information, the better investor you're going to be. And I just get a little nervous when people try to jump the gun and they already have something done that they can't undo, and now we're there. Yeah,
I love, just building on that. When someone's got a deal from a wholesaler, and we love wholesalers, they have inventory, they help make some of these deals happen. But when someone says that, I've run my own numbers, right? Because wholesalers will usually, when they're presenting a deal, they'll tell you, this is purchase price. We think it needs this rehab. We think this will be the ARV. And some wholesalers are spot on. Others, there might be a different agenda in play, or maybe they just aren't as well versed in that side of it. But when someone tells me, I've run my own numbers, or I've got someone else who's, not connected in that dynamic, that, they've run numbers, I like that, right? Because then you've got, at that point, you've got like an academic skin in the game, so to speak, right? You're not just, if I were to ask you a question, why do you think it's worth 300? It's not, well, because Ryan told me so. It's, well, because I've run numbers in this comp and that comp and this, and that makes me feel better that you're going down the right path, right? Sure. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like is, I think just from the introductory part of it, when we provide our borrowers with information, because even if we talk to them over the phone, they shouldn't be responsible for remembering every single thing from a first conversation where it's probably like, oh, wow, that's a lot of information. But when someone comes to me and it's clear that they have read or they've gone back over what we've talked about and they're prepared, and then they ask questions based on that. If all, we like questions. I'm going to speak for you. I like questions. You like questions because the more information we give, first of all, we feel confident that, we've got a great thing going here and people want to work with us. But at the end of the day, whether you want to work with us, whether you want to work with someone else, no one wants anyone to not succeed. And the more questions you ask, the more answers you get, the fewer blind spots, or maybe there are no blind spots. And now you're fully prepared. Knowledge, the whole knowledge is power stuff. The people that I don't know what you don't know as a borrower. I can get a sense, like if you've told me I've never done this before, I know I probably need to ask questions for you, or I need to, but sometimes people come to us and they are nervous to present a lack of experience. They think that's going to make us run. That's not the case. But, everyone's got egos, I know what I'm doing. I don't know what you don't know. I don't want you to get into a bad spot because, there was this level of information it just didn't click with you.
Yeah.
But I can't possibly know everything you don't know. So ask us questions. I love when borrowers have questions, and it's even better when they have questions that are clearly built upon our conversation or built upon some of the stuff that we've sent them or they've researched, because then they're trying to understand things at a different level.
Sure.
Yeah.
My last one here, I think is a little fun, but I love hearing a borrower say, "Hey, Ryan, I'm ready to do another project." Because, you work here with me. You see the numbers that we get presented by our amazing producer every month, but we have so many repeat Longhorn borrowers. And I don't think that's because we offer better rates as people do more deals with us or anything like that. I think it's because the team here genuinely cares. We want to see them do well, and we treat people well. And so I love hearing people say, "I'm coming back to you with another deal," because to me that means that they trust me. We did so good on that first deal. They want to come back to us. They want to utilize us again. And I don't know. It gives me the warm fuzzies.
Yeah.
That's lame.
Well, no. And okay, so I'll join you in that. I love hearing someone say to me, "Hey, I reached out to you because of this person," or because, "Hey, I know that person did a deal with you. I want to work with you," right? I love hearing that too, because that further reinforces that, we're doing right by these people. We're doing our job right. And at the end of the day, we want people to be happy, and if they're happy and they got people who are interested in doing this as well, they're going to send them our way. So,
and just to tag on to that, we're not trying to make this a love fest or anything. Yeah, we enjoy where we work, and we'd love to do a loan for you. But at the end of the day, I think one of the things, I'm changing my last one now, sorry, is I love when I get referred from someone that I declined a loan for. I told them, "Hey, you don't have a good deal. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's the numbers aren't working out. I highly suggest you try and get out of it. I'd still write you a loan. You're going to have to probably bring some cash to close or something, because it's just not a great deal. There's not a big spread." To then find out that 3 months later that person told somebody about me tells me that they understand I was looking out for their best interest. Because at the end of the day, I want to be able to sleep at night. And I'm not going to sleep well if I know I'm getting people into bad loans, if I know that I'm getting people into situations that are going to risk their family's finances. We're all, we all have our own families. We all are doing this to make money. We're all doing this to make our families better. And I want to just be a part of that, helping people succeed. And so I love when someone that I've had to turn down a loan because it just wasn't a good deal, that they are still, even though I might have poo-pooed on their dream or whatever, that they're still sending people our way.
That makes total sense. All right, there you go. Those are some things we'd love to hear from our borrowers. And for those of you out there who are our borrowers, we appreciate you. If you've referred business our way, we certainly appreciate that. If you've never worked with us, we'd love to work with you at Longhorn Investments. Go to longhorninvestments.com for more information. He's Ryan Blake, Blake at longhorninvestments.com. I'm Jared Sandler, Sandler at longhorninvestments.com. Please reach out to us with any questions. For our triple-double senior executive cycle producer, Michael Prager, for Ryan, I'm Jared. We'll talk to you soon.